But what happens in the long term is essentially what you're telling the insurance company is, I'm not hurt.
Willie D. Live.
So I'm looking at this business card. It really ain't a business card. It's more like a business plate.
Right.
Law offices of Audia, Jones, PC.
Yes.
Now, got your picture. How much does something like this cost? I mean, this looks expensive.
You know, it costs as much.
Looks like it costs as much as a whole box of regular cards. Right. One of these.
That may be true. I don't know. You know, I plead the fifth. But what I will say is we intentionally create cards, and I do call them the emergency card, right? So your gold card, take out your gold card. If you are in an accident or you have been injured or somebody has wrongfully been killed, I want to make sure that it is a device that you keep on you at all times. Most people will stick it in their wallet. It's not something you just throw away, right?
Yeah.
And so in times of emergencies, what do people do? They typically panic, and you're looking for something and you just can't find it. Most people throw away business cards. Most people, you know, even if they took a picture of it, they're digging through all their pictures. How many pictures do most of us have on our phone? Usually thousands. So that is a card that incentivizes my potential clients to just stick it in their wallet and call us in the event they're in an emergency.
Yeah, you got the QR code on here.
Yeah.
You can click on the QR code and get on down to business.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's say I got a problem.
Okay.
I got an accident here, and I need to come to Audia. I need Audia to save me.
Yes.
I need you to help me out. I need some relief.
All right.
Man, what's the cut? How much I got to give you?
Oh, man. So it's free. So it's free until we don't get anything unless we win for you.
And when you win for me.
When we win for
how
you.
How much you get?
We do. And honestly, most attorneys don't even talk about this, but this is how transparent we are. We do the standard. We don't take anything above and beyond. 33 and a third before we actually file the lawsuit. And then 40% once the lawsuit's filed. But remember, the 40%, even when we're in the course of litigation, costs, right? So we're filing the lawsuit. The courts charge for everything. And of course, we have to do our motion practice. We have to do depositions. We go down to the court. We're arguing in front of the judge. We are digging. We have our private investigators involved. We have to retain experts. So there's a lot of work. And I just love what I do. Even if it wasn't for the money, I was made for something like this, honestly. So I wake up every day looking forward to this.
What do you think the percentage is? Well, you know the percentage, but what is the percentage of cases that you take on? Would it be called pro bono up front if you know that you're going to file, but later on you may get some bread out of it? Would that be called anything up front where they're not spending money up
contingency?
Front?
So all of our cases are on contingency basis.
So contingency. Okay. Yeah. So on contingency, what's the percentage of cases have you taken that turned out to be a dud? Like you didn't even get paid nothing. You pretty much did this case for free. You didn't get a nickel out of it. And you spent your money. In fact, you in the hole. You in the red on this.
Yeah. I would probably say about 10% of our cases.
Oh, wow.
And the reason I would say 10%, I will say I have an amazing team. So shout out to my team at the law office. But we do a very good job vetting our potential new clients. Most of our duds, sometimes we will have clients that will come in if they've been involved in an accident, let's say a truck accident or car accident. And they just, people don't see long term. They may come in and say, well, I just can't make it to treatment. I can't, I'm hurting. And we explain to them, I always explain to them, I understand that you're hurting. I've been involved in accidents. And so I've seen both sides of the coin. And I understand it is an annoyance on your life. But what happens in the long term is essentially what you're telling the insurance company is, I'm not hurt. I'm not injured because you're not an expert, right? So I can't call my client to the stand and say, hey, tell the jury why. They can tell them, hey, I'm hurting, and they can tell them my back is injured, but you can't get down to the nitty gritty. I have 2 slip discs, or, I live paycheck to paycheck and I couldn't afford to do it. Now we can go and we can put that in front of the jury, but opposing counsel, you're giving too much wiggle room for them to come back and say, well, if you were so hurt, right, why didn't you get treatment?
Right.
So I do have, every now and then, for the most part, we have amazing clients. They do what they need to do on the front end to go make sure that their health is good, that they get checked out, and that we have the evidence we need to move forward against the companies. However, we do have those times where we have individuals that are just refuse to go to treatment or do what they need to do, which makes our job very difficult at that point, because it's difficult to prove without evidence, right? So
it's almost like a rapper who don't want to go on a promo tour.
Correct. Or you don't want to go in the studio. All you want to do is kick
exactly.
it. You're skilled,
right.
but you don't want to record.